Oh, whoops. This hangout is live. Good day, everybody. Welcome to the Wholesale Real Estate Investing Show, number 263 by SAHA. And this is Freedom Friday, June 10th, 2016. I want to say welcome to everybody, wholesale real estate investors, any real estate investors for that matter. And especially for those of you who are interested in becoming real estate investors, primarily wholesale real estate investors, because that's what we are. That's what SAHA is a premier wholesale real estate company here in Phoenix, Arizona, which is where I'm hanging out from. And I'd love to hear where you guys are hanging out from. Type it in up there on your little box up there. That's all it takes to do. Let us know where you're hanging out from. And you got any questions or comments about the show, feel free to add them in. We love hearing from you guys. So with that, freelancing on a Freedom Friday. You know this is going to be great stuff. What are you going to get today? I don't even have a clue right now. But that's okay, because it's going to turn into something really good. Hang on, bear with me, and we'll get around to exposing those gold nuggets, uncovering the things that you can use and capitalize on to help you grow and build your network market or your wholesale real estate investing business. So I'm going to start off with just by a little recap of, we were talking last Wisdom Wednesday about entrepreneurial thinking. You know, that wholesale real estate investing does indeed take an entrepreneurial mindset and way of thinking if you are going to be successful. And real estate investing does as well too. I see a lot of real estate investors who are really nothing more than the owners of their own job. A lot of fix and flippers, especially because, they constantly have to be stuffing their money back into the next deal, pulling out just enough money to, live off of out of the profits, and stuffing it all back into their next deal so that they can get, another payday down the line. And they're not getting, into that position of building to the point where they don't have to be doing things and they can live the lifestyle that they really want. Now, for somebody who just loves working on houses, that's the lifestyle that you want to live. That's a little bit different story. I mean, this whole world is all about, what we want to be, have, and do in this life. And if that's what really gets you off, then congratulations. You've kind of found it. You've made it. You're there. But even so, there's still ways that you might want to be limiting some of the things that you have to do. You may still be finding that there's certain aspects of, what it is that you love to do that you really don't like to do that much, but they have to be done. And those are the kinds of things that you can put your entrepreneurial mindset to work in thinking, hey, how can I automate this piece that I don't like doing? Or how can I automate this piece that I'm really not good at this? And, I can eliminate all the things that I don't want to be doing, that I have to do, and I can really just focus on the one piece that I love doing. So anyway, with that, sorry, I had a little text interruption there. I've been working with the team today. We had an awesome meeting last night, getting everybody up to speed, back on board with where we are in our program here right now, in our system, which, this is here's your gold nugget for the day, okay? Which we are right now in the process of a complete system rehab. Yep, we're not rehabbing a house, we're rehabbing our system. And the reason why that's a gold nugget is because we have experience with this. This will be the 1, 2, 3, 4th time that we have rehabbed our system, so to speak. The first time we did it, it was on our very first system, which happened to be, a probate system. How getting deals, getting our deals with probate deals, and we had created a system. My partner John and I, we created a system just basically 3 months into us starting this endeavor of wholesale real estate investing. And it produced deals for us, and we decided that we should automate it. And so we automated it with an employee who was doing it for us, that we only needed to start her out, doing it 20 hours a week. And then, we were promising her that, this will grow and it'll build and we'll get you to 40 hours a week and it'll be great and yada, yada, yada. And it never happened. And she ended up having to quit us so she could get a full-time 40-hour-a-week job so that she could live her lifestyle. Because we couldn't afford to get her there. Because our system, we found out after her leaving, having to go back in there and do the system ourselves again, realized that it was broken, that it needed a rehab. And so we were forced to do it on this occasion. And, we got in there and started seeing this stuff. Kind of got excited about the whole idea of, wow, we fix all these things and it's going to get better. And it did. It got better. And the following year, and it took us a few months to do that. And so we created the system and we automated it again. Once we created it, we automated it again with hiring another employee to run the system for us. And it did create more business for us. It wasn't a huge jump, but it was definitely, an improvement on business. Until the automation system, our employee, who we started out at 30 hours a week, was never able to get to 40 hours a week and had to quit us because the system still wasn't producing enough. And this forced John and I once again to go back in there and start working this system because, if we wanted it to continue on, we had to do it because there was nobody else to do it. And once again, for us to now see where a lot of broken problems were. And this time it really wasn't in the system so much as it was in our lack of monitoring it and our lack of proper training in how to run it for the gal that we brought in place. We found out that she was actually doing a lot of things wrong, and she was actually making a lot of mistakes, and she was actually, preventing the system from expanding to its full capabilities. So by her leaving, obviously it was a blessing in disguise, but still the fact of the matter remains, we had to go in and rehab that system and get prepared to build it and grow it to the next level. At that point in time, we actually found ourselves another strategic partner who integrated some additional systems into our system, and his system we combined with ours, and we started actually here once again rehabbing the entire system into something completely new. And this time we didn't automate it so much. We did start bringing in some more people to help us work it. And but what happened was this system, in recreating this whole new system now here too, rehabbing this whole new system here, we actually really boosted our business a lot. We really started getting a lot of productivity out of it, which is why we were able to hire some more people. And like I said, instead of having someone run the system for us this time, we were continuing to run it ourselves, but having other people work on the other end of, doing some of the work that while we're working on the system that we didn't have time to do. So a little bit different approach this time, working a little bit better, definitely producing way more. However, the system itself was flawed, and it was, it had limitations to it. And once we started reaching those limitations, and some of the problems within the system started exposing themselves, we found ourselves working way more on the system than we were actually, going out there and working, in getting deals. And so we plateaued, we flattened out, and, maybe even started to see a little bit of a drop off. So this time, instead of being forced by choice, we recognized these signs this time. And by choice, we went in there and did another complete system rehab and converted our system over into another type of system, which blew us up. It blew up our business. We totally increased our productivity 3 times. yeah, definitely a 3-time increase, which actually produced in profit, actually produced a 200% increase in profit. So that was awesome. That was a huge thing. And so recognizing that, like I said, at that point in time, we recognized that we were in a position where we needed to do this, seeing the productivity, the enhancement, the change that it made. Here we are now 15 months later from that rehab, looking back going, hey, you know what? Our system's got some flaws. There's some problems. There's some things broken. We got to go back and do another rehab on our system. Fortunately, each time we've done this, we have definitely improved the system into a completely better system, which has made these rehab projects easier and easier. Now, this case, it's a big project. It's probably our biggest project, but it's only because we've also realized that there's other things that we need to incorporate into this project. And what we're doing here is we're going all the way back to step one, square one, starting from go and working step by step through our entire system, not only fixing the problems this time, but recognizing also too what our team is doing wrong and getting them educated on the right way at the right time. And also too, looking at, okay, how are we training for this? And let's fix the training piece now at the same time. So we're fixing the problem, fixing the existing misconceptions, and fixing for the future training pieces, so that we don't have these issues again in the future, that someone new that comes in and joins our team will have the proper training from the beginning to learn the system the right way, the way that it should be run, so that they can learn and grow and develop even faster than the folks that we have right now were able to do. That's an interesting thing too, is when we first brought in our first people, it took them, this long to learn and grow and become successful in the system. And then as we bettered it a little bit, the next people that we brought in, it only took them this long to learn and grow and become successful in a business. And now as we're getting to this point where we are now, we realize that this didn't change much. The people that we've brought in after that, only got like that much of an increase. And that's what started pointing out to us that, hey, we got some problems here. We need to go back and fix some stuff. It was because it wasn't in the lack of productivity, although our productivity has kind of plateaued again. It hasn't seen any fall off really, but it has kind of plateaued a bit. So, but it was in the training, it was in the advancement of our people not happening, at a much more advanced rate, and instead of going from here to here, it only went from here to here. And we was like, hey, why aren't these people, picking it up quicker? Why isn't this happening? Why aren't they learning and growing and advancing faster than they should be? And that's where we kind of realized initially that there was problems in our training. So we started working on our training, and in working on our training, we realized, whoa, wait a second, there's actually broken pieces with inside the system we need to fix first so that we can train properly. That's kind of the rehab project that we're on right now. And again, this was a self-imposed rehab project opposed to a forced one. But I know for sure that once we start getting towards the ending phases of this rehab project and, actually get it completed, that, the productivity for the entire team is going to double, in at least double, if not triple or quadruple, which is going to be great for everybody. Because everybody's going to be able to be getting more deals. Everybody's going to be knowing what they're doing. What everybody does is going to be affecting everybody else the same way. So we know what to expect. The new people that come in are going to be getting trained the right way, so we don't have all the headaches of, hey, this new person doesn't know what they're doing, kind of a situation. All those things we're going to be able to eliminate off of our table and just have our whole entire system running like a smooth oiled machine. And that's going to be fantastic. And, there's just no way that can't produce more productivity and bigger and better success for everyone. So that here too is another piece of, there's your gold nugget for the day, and why. So if you've got some systems that you've been utilizing and working, you know, and your revenues, your incomes, your profits have maybe sort of plateaued a little bit, you know, maybe it's not the market, maybe it's not the lack of deals, maybe it's some broken pieces in your system. Maybe you should look at going back and doing, you know, a system rehab and taking yourself all the way back to square one and making sure that everything is working the way that it's supposed to be working. And that maybe if you have any people working with you or for you, that they know and are doing all the things the right way that's going to make the difference. These little things like this can make huge differences in your business. And now this here too falls back upon the entrepreneurial thinking. Okay, so what we talked about right here is, you know, we as entrepreneurs, we as business people, I mean, we love to, hey, this is great, let's put it in place, bam, slam, let's go, and just start, you know, building and working on it. I liken this whole story to, like, you know, building a skyscraper, right? You know, you got to have a good foundation first, which, you know, you have a good foundation to begin with. But once you pour that foundation, it's time to start building. A lot of times we just start building. We get all the way up to the sixth floor. You know, we've had our inspector come in, and then we realize one day that, hey, somebody tells us, hey, do you know that that inspector's blind? You know, he's been passing all this stuff. And you're like, really? He's blind? I had no idea. So you think to yourself, maybe I should go down and inspect my inspector's work. And so you take the plans that you really hadn't been paying much attention to because you've just been building, and you go back down to the first floor from the fifth or sixth or seventh floor that you're on right now, and you start looking at the plans and you're looking at the stuff that you got done, and you go, holy cow, these 2x4s over here, these are supposed to be 2x8s. And look at this half-inch plumbing over here. That's supposed to be 4-inch plumbing. What the heck happened there? And, you know, oh my gosh, look at this Romex over here. This is supposed to be 4 gauge. It's 16 gauge. And you know, here's some 12-inch ductwork we put in that needs to be 36-inch ductwork. You know, I mean, I can see why everything's, you know, actually still working up there on the 5th floor, but gosh, if we go any higher, none of this stuff is going to support that stuff. Right? None of these things that you did, these little problems and things that happen, are going to support further growth. That's the point I'm trying to get at. You're sitting there beating your head against the wall going, gosh, how come I'm not getting more deals? How come, my money's not growing? How come I'm stuck here where I'm at? Well, maybe it's not that you need to continue growing and building something that you've done. Maybe you need to go back and look at the base level and see that everything there was done right in the first place. And so that's kind of where we're at right now. We had our meeting last night, and we're saying, hey, team, look, we all got to go down to the first floor together and fix all these problems together. Otherwise, we could sit here and build 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 more stories, and, you know, we're going to run out of electricity. We're not going to have any water. You know, it's going to be hot as heck because the air can't get up here, and we're going to be having fires. And we're going to be having fires from the electrical problems. So let's all go back down there right now, and let's get this fixed the right way so that it can support us going up 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 more floors, whatever the case might be. So there you go, guys. There's your hot tip gold nugget of the day: system rehab. Maybe your problems and growth aren't at the surface level of where you're at. Maybe they come back down to the fundamentals, the basics, the stuff that you already did and left behind, but there's some underlying problems back in there. Go take a look at that stuff. So there you go. We were going to also, you know, now the first floor is only one thing. Like I said, we're on the 7th floor right now. If we did all those problems on the first floor, don't you think that as we went up, you know, we still got the same 12-inch ductwork coming up? That's not going to fly if we really need the 36. You know, we still got that 16 gauge Romex going up. That's not going to fly if we really needed 4 gauge. You know, those 2-inch pipe or that half-inch pipe going up, that ain't going to fly, right? So we have to start at the first floor work our way up to the second floor, you know, and fix the things on that level, that we can then, you know, get to the third floor and fix the things on that level, so that when we get back to the seventh floor where we're at, now we have a support system that's going to allow us to continue to build and grow. And we can, you know, drywall in those first floors and start putting in the finished product, get some renters in there, making some money, increasing our revenues so we can build higher. I figured the skyscraper thing being a building and wholesale real estate and this all being about real estate would be a good scenario. That's not what the word I'm thinking of. What's the thing called that you, anyway, it would be a good metaphor for you to get a grip on what I'm talking about here as far as your systems go, your operational systems go within your business, related to something that we know and do, buildings and rehabbing and building and all of that sort of thing. And it might make more sense in applying that, you know, applying that concept over to your business, in looking at your systems and looking at the fundamental base of your systems and what is your system structured on, and does that structure support where you're trying to take that system and what you're trying to make that system do. Now, some of you don't even know what the heck I'm talking about with systems. That here too, again, is entrepreneurial thinking. In your wholesale real estate business, just as anybody would in any business, the purpose of any business is to realistically create systems that you can fire yourself from a piece of that business that you don't have to do anymore. Someone else can do it for you. A piece of technology can do it for you. Some sort of automation can do it for you. You yourself personally don't have to put, you know, make sure 100% of the time that that's being done by you, right? When you're able to do that, automate that system some way, shape, or form, whether completely or with another person, you know, who's managing it, that frees up your time to now put your focus into another area of your business, preferably in a systematic manner with the systems that you want to take yourself out of. But you can now focus your efforts in another system of your business, and you can focus on automating that so that you, again, no longer have to deal with that. You know, you get somebody in place who's managing it. You know, now you've got only two people, you know, that are running that part of the business 40 hours a week that you don't have to spend doing. And all you have to do is meet with each of those two people for 2 hours a week, go through what's happening, make sure it's all still working the right way, implement some new ideas, take out some old ideas, whatever the case might be, and those systems continue working, and you only had to put 2 hours into them instead of, you know, however many limited hours you were able to do before. And now you can move on to your third system and do the same thing. And that's entrepreneurial thinking in a business, is systemizing a business so that you personally don't have to do all the things that, especially number one, you don't like doing, and number two, that you're not good at doing. Get those things automated first. It's going to make your business life, your whole business, running your business, a whole lot more enjoyable when you can take things off your plate that you don't like doing, and when you can take things off your plate that you're not good at doing, and replace them with systems. And like I said, the ultimate objective would obviously be to eliminate yourself from every piece of the business, every aspect of the business, except for meeting with the 3, 4, 5, 6 people, however many systems you have, who manage those systems for you for an hour a day. So you work now 1 day a week meeting with your managers to go over each and every one of those systems to make sure that they're working the right way, that everybody's trained the right way, that all the things that are supposed to happen there are happening the right way, so the profits all come out the other end the right way that we expect them to come out of. And, you know, what can we tweak and what can we get rid of? And you spend 1 hour a day in your business, or 1 day a week in your business now, instead of 80 hours a week in your business. From 80 to 8. That's pretty awesome. And the final step, the best step of all, is now that you're in that position, you can take everything that you've created, and you can duplicate it across town or in another city, whatever. And now you've got that same exact machine running over here. Well, you only have to spend 1 day a week running this one, remember? That's all it takes. 1 day a week, I meet with all my head people, boom, business is running, profits are being made. We got this one up and running now. All you got to do is spend 1 day a week over there. Meet with my head people. Business is running. Everything's happening. Profits are being made. Now I got the profits from this one, and I got duplicated profits over here. Twice as much money is now being earned from your business. And you're only working 16 hours a week. Do that 5 times, you're back to a 40-hour week, because Monday you got to meet with managers A, Tuesday you got to meet with managers B, so that Wednesday you got to meet with C, Thursday with D, and Friday with E. Here's some more entrepreneurial thinking. Now you have a manager to manage your managers. You have someone else who does those 5-day-a-week meetings. And now you only have to sit down with that guy for 4 hours, 1 day a week, to go through each one of those businesses, make sure that he's telling the managers how to run everything the right way. And that, my friends, is how you create the 4-hour work week. For those of you who never read the book, which I haven't yet either, I've heard positives and negatives about it, that it's a farce and that kind of thing. But you know what? I just pointed out to you, it's a real thing. That's how you do it right there. I haven't read the book. It's on my reading list. I'm going to get to around to reading it here in the near future, and we'll talk about it one day when I do. But yeah, that's how you create a 4-hour work week for yourself. Duplication, systemization, and duplication. Fire yourself from everything that you do. You got to constantly be thinking in everything that you do in your business right now, how can I get somebody else or something else to do this for me? How can I fire myself from this position? And the more you can fire yourself, the bigger your profits are going to get, the less hectic your life is going to get, the more fun and enjoyable your business is going to become, and the better life is going to be. Hey, everybody, that's our show for today. Entrepreneurial thinking, again, building and duplicating your business. And you know what? That's a pretty good Freelance Friday nugget, I think, for you. We'll see you back here on New Op Day, where, as always, we discuss the book by Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People, which, in our minds, is your wholesale real estate training manual. All right? With that, O universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom with which to make better use of the riches given to me at birth, consisting of the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever end I might desire, which is duplicatable business systems. That's the end that I desire. Everybody make it a great Freedom Friday. Have a wonderful celebration. We'll see you back here on New Op Day with